everybody. Welcome to Kimber House and to the 2023 MGF Register AGM. Apologies for slightly late starting. The laptop didn't want to insert some extra slides, but we're there now, hopefully. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Nigel May, the chair for the next few minutes. As I reach the end of my 5-year term as chair, and under car club rules, chairmen have to step down after 5 years. It's nice to be back face to face because the last 2 years we've done the AGM via Zoom, so it's nice actually to be here and to see so many of you as well on a Sunday morning. So welcome. Someone's phone's ringing. Upstairs in the office, maybe?
That's a good point.
Okay. Unfortunately, Bob, the slides seem to have gone off because someone put the stand in front of us, but doesn't matter, we'll work through it. So, we'll start off with apologies for absence. I've received apologies from Dave Tynan, Rob and Jane Parry, Mark Galbraith, our South Coast rep, Simon Davis, our North West regional rep, Joe Bradley, our treasurer, Chris Edwards and Colin Murrell. Are there any other apologies for absence that anyone's aware of?
I've got one from Chris Callahan.
Thank you. Okay. Next item is to approve the minutes from last year's AGM of the 28th of March, which hopefully you've all received via email from Jane. Okay, so are there any amendments to be made that anyone's aware of, which is to make to the notes? In that case, would somebody like to propose? That's Ian, thank you. And second? Tim. Great. Thank you very much. Are there any matters arising from the minutes? I'll take stony silence as no. Okay. So, we'll be done by 11 o'clock. Okay, that's good.
Quarter two, I was thinking.
Quarter two, maybe. No, we've got a couple of reports to come. Before we accept before we accept the reports that you've received in via email, there's a couple of reports to be presented. Let's see, I can't remember which one I put in first. Tim, you're slotted in first. Came in, so
Was I?
yeah.
Wasn't expecting to be first.
Sorry, it's the way it.
Last one in,
Last
first
one.
one on.
I haven't got a blip, I'm afraid. You'll have to just hit enter. Or do you want to nod at me? Or something?
No, I can probably manage it, I think. You all know me, but my role on the committee for a while really has been as the scribe, fast forward and webmaster. So I'm just going to run through really what all those things mean. So scribe basically is the writer for most of the register's written material. Not all of it. The email newsletter is written by the secretary when that comes out, but the rest of it basically, Safety Fast monthly column, the 4-pager which is around about 4 monthly, I put that together as well, and any other guides or programs like the MG40 guide last year, did that one. I'll be writing something for the post Abingdon show as well. So things like that are what the scribe does. So that's an ongoing thing, and I've done that. I can't even remember how many years I've been doing it. Such a long time now. Okay, Fast Forward is the Register's magazine, which I'm sure everyone is a subscriber to.
Yes, Tim.
Yes,
Thank you very much. I'm waiting for someone to say, no, I'm not. How do I subscribe? But no, okay. Basically, you can see what the aims of that. It's founded in 2005 after MGF 10, really. And MGF 10 featured in the first edition of it back then. But yeah, it's a quarterly magazine, now 52 pages, A4. Really, it's intended as a historic archive for the Register. It tries to record everything that the Register does through its regions. And so on. Should be informative, so we have articles about various things in there. We have historic articles, technical articles, social runs, so we like to do a lot of social stuff in there because that's what the club is largely about, is getting together with your MGFs and TFs. We have a bit of international, in fact we had a lot of international in the current edition, if anyone's read that. So we had quite a bit from New Zealand, and made contact with a guy in Canada who's imported a couple of MGFs over there, and he's done quite a bit for the North American MG Owners Club, writing things for their magazine, so we're going to pinch some of that as well. And that will come out in the next several issues really. Mark's Workshop, Mike Jones is his name. Then we put in news, obituaries, any sort of MGF update really, or MG update, but you know, it's about people's adventures and having fun with your car. I think that's essentially what the magazine's about, and that's what the MGF Register's all about. So the meat of them, I put that one in because it shows basically how I put it all together, which is a complete mess basically, but the magazine kind of sits in the middle of the desktop on Publisher, and all the pictures and things are all outside, and you slide them all in and try and put it all together basically. But that's kind of just a snapshot of my desktop putting 69 together there, and that was actually finished at that point, I think. Okay, Webmaster. The Register runs a few different websites, and they're sort of slowly appearing on screen there. The main one is mgfregister.org, which we've had for quite a while. That's a WordPress site. There's a satellite one off that, mgf25.org, which was for the event. Not really updated much anymore, obviously, because that event has gone in the past now, but it still exists. Then we have an online shop, which looks like it's part of the same website, but it's not. It's a PHP site, they call it. It's a separate operating system, but linked into the main site. And then there's the old forum, which still does get used. I believe anyone use the forum?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nigel?
Yeah, I use it sometimes.
Too? Yeah, so a few people still do use that, but obviously that's been usurped by social media to quite a large extent. And then a site that we don't actually run is the Ace Clothing site, which is the regalia site with all these things on there that you can buy from there. But that's actually run by Ace Clothing and managed by them, so we don't have any input in the technical side of keeping that going. So they're basically all the websites. MGF 30, which is our next big show, we've already got mgf30.org as a URL, so that will be coming at some stage before the show, so probably in the next year or so we're getting that one up maybe. But it's there and ready to be built. Now, you may have noticed we've had some problems with the site recently, where it was down probably for 1 or 2 weeks. There have been some issues with it, and it's a bit beyond me, my technical abilities to actually repair it. So I have to go to Bluehost, who are our hosting service, who are in America. And I have long online conversations with someone sitting in Florida. And we eventually did get it working again, but this is the second time it's gone down. Particularly the shop is the concerning bit really there, because that's where people order their fast forwards and things, and it gets a bit difficult. And we were coming up for the fast forward, the new one coming out. I thought, we're going to get this going in time for people to renew. But it is up and running now, touch wood. I've discovered what the problem was, and so hopefully if it happens again we can put it right relatively quickly again. Okay, so just moving on to the other internet-based things that we have. Social media is obviously quite a big one. We have the MGF Register Facebook page that we run as a register. The MGF 25 event page, which is still there but not really used at the moment because again that event has passed. We have a Twitter page, and we have a YouTube channel. So some of the regions, not all of them, but some of the regions do run their own Facebooks, WhatsApp groups and whatever. So there are various ways that they communicate with their people. It's all about communication. So all these things are to communicate, which is good. So there we are. I did a quick count up of all our Facebook pages, all the regions and everything, and you can see the numbers down the side with 6,800 people on our main one, which obviously is the biggest. But then, MGF 25 has still got 561 people following that for some reason. Don't put anything on it. But, they're there. And then you've got the various regions, as you see, going down with the numbers in the southeast at the top. And it just runs down there. But there's quite a lot of people obviously involved, and that shows how we're communicating with our membership. Okay, and that's just Twitter there. Twitter's got 464 followers. We don't really tweet a lot. Something maybe we could improve on, and probably could improve on that. It's probably down to me really, but YouTube has 143 subscribers now, and that's growing. I've started to put on more videos on there. Ian sent me one with the Thames Valley Tribes outings last year. So things like that are what we're looking for from members to be sent in, and then we can put it on our YouTube channel for people to see. So if anyone's got video clips of events that they've been to with their MGFs and TFs, we want to put these things together and collect them if we can. So the site is really mainly for that. It's mainly for MGF Register related things, but also MGF stuff. So we've got some historic MG Rover films on there, like how to put your soft top up. Dealer videos and things like that. So we're trying to collect those and sort of get them all in one place as well for the membership. And in fact, the second most popular video on the channel at the moment is the dealer video for putting your soft top up.
Putting it down.
Yeah.
Putting it down.
A bit weird, but the top one on there is Mike Stafford's Turbo that we filmed at MGF 25. Which, although the recording wasn't too great because the wind was blowing and it was all a bit blustery, it still got quite a lot of views. So, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the future, and I think that's a thing that we can grow quite a lot. But it needs help from the membership. Okay. Boop. Oh yeah, there were some things there. There's some stats that you can't see there. So there's 52 videos on there at the moment. We have just under 11,000 views on that channel. People have watched it for 403 hours, and in the last 28 days, when I did this a couple of days ago, we've had 611 people viewing videos on our channel. So there's quite biggish numbers on there that people are finding it and looking at them, and of course that brings them into the club because they're all logoed up, they're branded. And it can bring them into the club, hopefully. Perhaps it's a way of getting members. Okay, so if you count all our internet-based comms up, we actually reach 10,233 people. And then you can add in your safety fast circulation and the email newsletter, which goes out to everyone that we have an email for. So that's not the entire MGF Register membership, but quite a good proportion of them. And of course, Safety Fast is the only medium really that goes out to all members. So that's an important document there to try and get out to people and communicate with them. But over 10,000 people, I think it's a pretty good going.
Numbers.
Shows we're keeping in touch. Excellent. Well, any questions on that, anyone?
Tim, have you got any idea how many of those 10,000 are full MG car club?
No idea. No, this is the only thing, because it is open, you don't know if they're members or not. And to me, it doesn't desperately matter because you're still getting out to 10,200 people, whether they're members or not.
Hopefully,
and if they're not, you're in the hope that they say, oh, this is good, isn't it? Look at the stuff that they're doing. Well, I think I'll join that club.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got two different things. You've got your membership and your public face. So your public face is trying to entice people to come and join. And you're serving your membership as well by putting content that they're
I personally
doing.
feel there should be a way, because obviously you know their email addresses, most of them.
Not for YouTube, no.
Not on any of these things really. You can't
No.
you can't harvest
No.
data like that from it,
No.
unfortunately. But you know, so you put it out there with the hope that they're going to subscribe to your channel, and they're going to join the club. But you can't kind of quantify how many are members and how many are not, and how many people are joining as a result of seeing your videos. It's unquantifiable.
Plus it's worldwide as well, isn't it?
And it's
not
worldwide.
just
You
in
know,
the
some of
UK.
these people are
Yeah.
probably, you know, in America or Australia.
Oh, yeah. As the club is.
I did a similar exercise with the Southeast Centre, and we had one of our highest views was from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. So we had people in the Middle East, you know, regularly looking at our channel. So there we are. Okay, and no more questions. Excellent. We can move on then, Nigel. There we go.
Swiftly on to MGF Register events. Ian.
I do now. A bit lot quicker. It's got to be short.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. All I want to say really from the event side of things, plus I did have Angie's name on the other slide as well, because although Angie's not in the committee, she does a lot of work behind the scenes for us for the events. So there is a lot of stuff that she does in there. But all I want to say is from us is literally a big thank you. Because we can put the events on, we can do the paperwork, but it's the membership which takes it on board and actually support it is what make the events what they are on there. So you guys pay your money, you turn up and make the events. To say our side is easy, we just book a hotel and that's it, happy days, and do a few flyers. Easy as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to barter in all the costs as well,
Yeah.
of course.
I don't think he's telling the truth there.
Yeah. But no, so thank you from us for turning up. The events are so popular now, it's just we're getting to need places which have just got crazy numbers of bedrooms. And we'll put something out and think, yeah, it'll take a few days for those 40 odd rooms to go, and within a couple of hours they're gone.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we ever go over 24 hours before,
no,
especially for Christmas and the national weekend.
it's very rare. 2022's events, what we've done, sadly we couldn't get the chairman's weekend together for 2022. We just couldn't get diaries and availabilities and things to work out right. We've done the first distinguished drive out day for a bit of fun. That came out of probably alcohol filled conversations at Cricklade of people said, oh, it's nice we get our finest togs on in the winter, it's a shame we don't do it again. So we thought, exactly 6 months between Christmases, we do the drive out day again, people just dress up, put the finest togs on, people in Abingdon wonder what on earth is going on, and we get funny looks and comments, but it was great fun, and that went down quite well. National Weekend of last year, game sold out. I think everybody went. Heacham was just absolutely fantastic. So much so that we are revisiting it on there. And Christmas at Cricklade, we had a last one there where we decided now we've been there last five times. It was time to have a little change. So say once again, everything supported very, very well. For 2023. We've got the Chairman's Weekend end of this month. I have still got, we can't quite see the bottom there, I've got 3 rooms left on that. That's £120 for bed and breakfast. The hotel is absolutely stunning. It's just had a complete refurbishment. We snuck off down there a couple of weekends ago and it is absolutely stunning what they've done. So we've still got a couple of rooms for that. Distinguished drive out, we've got all the posters and everything on there. That's filling up nicely. We're about half or just over halfway full on that one now. So that's going well. Sadly, our last 2, National Weekend is definitely sold out unless they can build another block on rather quickly on there. Christmas at the Coast, I've had a couple of rooms become available, so I've got a couple of rooms. I've got Ken and Hazel's in, so I've just put them in the book, so they're in. But if anybody is still wanting to do that, then that's happy days on there. And as I say, that's all I have to say on the events. Thank you all.
Thanks, Ian.
Well done.
Before we move on to elections, what's my agenda now? Is it gone? No, it is. We just need to accept the reports. So firstly, are there any questions on any of the reports that you had in writing? I'll take silence as no. Thank you. So would someone like to propose and second the reports?
Do we need to talk
Do we?
about the treasurer's report?
Treasurer's report, I'm coming on. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we've got a separate thing on that.
Well, you've got separate. I'm going to cover that in a
The
second.
summary
Tim.
wasn't really
Yes.
good enough.
All right.
Should we propose? Yeah.
The rest of the committee, we just got the summary for the AGM.
Yeah, I just got the summary.
Yeah. And the committee will discuss, I think, the rest of the report.
Okay. They need to accept that.
The
don't
accounts. Yeah.
They need to vote the accounts, but if they can't see the accounts, they can't really.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good.
They can't really vote on them and approve them if you've just got a 2-line summary. So
Right.
you know.
You might have to do a card club, have it extraordinary,
Extraordinary.
for the accounts then.
Mm.
I don't think that's going to be acceptable. I might be wrong.
I think-
John Watson, waits that tell us.
I was just looking at the treasurer's report.
Can't you ask
A
Philip?
few
Or
lines.
Philip. Perhaps
Not
Philip.
enough, is there?
Well, personally, I'd like to see a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can
You
vote
should
on
have
that.
balance
that,
shouldn't
You
it?
should have a balance sheet
Mm.
showing where that money's gone.
Details.
Yeah.
You can't just have sort of, yeah, we took in this, we spent that, and
Right.
that's it. So you need to see how that's gone because they can't approve those accounts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be my only point. I thought Joe might have sent something through to be presented, but
No, I think she sent it through, and Jane had it, but it was for the we will use it at the committee meeting because
Yeah.
it was the full. It was really in depth, so it probably would have baffled everyone with Joe not being here to explain.
yeah, but you need a basic
Yeah.
summary
Which is what
for the
obviously she
for the
presented,
members to
which
agree.
came through.
I've got the treasurer here.
Yeah.
I was asking John Watson. I've got the
Yeah.
club treasurer in the room.
Yeah, we will need. Obviously, we've got the P&L and the balance sheet because that's been encompassed into the last backwards
Yeah,
return.
yeah.
But obviously, that has to be presented to the members of this
Yeah.
forum and be signed off, in that way. So it looks to me that you might have to have an EGM just for the benefit of taking into account,
Okay.
Yeah.
which could be done by Zoom.
We can say we do
That's
a
not
Zoom.
an issue
Yeah, we can arrange a
from
Zoom,
that perspective.
just literally to vote on the
And
fuller.
Joe will come to the Zoom. So
Joe
she'll
presumably will
there,
attend, be able to
yeah.
attend that. Yeah.
I think you can approve all the other
Others,
reports
with the exception then of the
apart from
treasurer's.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
leave that as an outstanding. Yeah.
So who's proposing the rest of the reports then?
So we just need someone to propose reports.
Propose, yeah.
So Stan
One
Best,
second it, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
the
second?
intro then there. I'm right.
Ian,
Yes.
yeah,
Thank
second.
you.
Thank you very much. So, moving on to elections. According to club rules, all the officers have to stand down. So that's the chairman, the secretary and the treasurer, and they have to stand down annually. They can stand for re-election again the chairman up to 5 years. And then a third of the committee, I just realised I've got the old, this is the old presentation, it's gone in. That's what to do with things, it was right, I changed that, ignore that bit. And then a third of the committee in rotation stand down as well. So next screen. Yes, next screen's right. There we go, that's the one right. So, and sorry Ian, at this stage I haven't seen, why is it done? So obviously, saving multiple copies of things, I do apologise. It was right earlier.
Let's go through what they should do.
Okay, so starting off then, as I said earlier, I have to stand down as I've served my 5 years. I will deal with the voting of the new chairman. I will then stand down and let the new chairman take over to do the rest of the elections. I can't edit it now, no. Yeah.
Just read it.
So, yeah. So, standing for the position of chairman is Ian Wright, who was proposed by Alison Isaacson and seconded by Dave Tynan.
It was actually the other way round.
Was
Dave
it?
Tynan
Oh,
proposed.
okay, that was
Alison
where
seconded. Yeah.
Apologise, I will clear that. So, proposed by Daytime and seconded by Alison Isaacson. So, all those in favour of... And I should just say that you do need to be a car club member to vote, so if anyone that's not a car club member, they're unable to vote. All those in favour of Ian Wright standing as chairman, raise your hands now. Anyone against? No. And anyone abstaining?
I think so.
Well, you got the job.
Thank you, everyone.
That's going to cost you a
And
fortune.
yeah, it's got to cost me a fortune now. All those fivers I got to dish out now, innit? But no, thank you, everybody.
See you in the bar.
Yeah. I'll be last in. With me taking over the chairman's role, thank you very much for the support. But also a great big thanks to Nigel for what he's how he's steered the club for the last 5 years, and I just follow that way. So now what we need to do is, where are we? This is in
It's in a different order.
different order, isn't it?
So I've done it in the logical order on this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do the officers.
yeah, because we've got vice chair, treasurer, and secretary, but it should be
Treasurer and secretary.
treasurer, isn't it? Yeah. So for treasurer. Where should put it?
So
There it is.
Is there?
Yeah, proposed by David Cascella and seconded by Jerry Edwards is Joe Bradley for continuing the role of treasurer. So if we can have a vote for those who's in favour for treasurer. Any against? Any abstentions? That's lovely. So Joe is continuing on as the role of treasurer. For secretary, Jane Parry, after her considerable period of time as secretary, has stood down. We have received a nomination for secretary, which is Carol Haywood. Well, you Maeve, don't be frightened. We all know Carol.
Don't mind if anyone stares.
Yes, yeah, we all know Carol. Carol has agreed to stand up. It was proposed by myself and seconded by Angie. Carol has a lot of experience in working with Wapping big multinational company doing that type of work and organisational. So for those what would like to vote for Carol as the role of secretary. Anybody against? I don't think there is. And any abstentions? Lovely. Welcome to the team, Carol. Thank you very much for standing forward. Now, I think we've got vice chair, don't we? I think now. So with myself now stand down as vice chair and becoming the chairman, we have the role of vice chair available, and Nigel May has been proposed by Joe May and seconded by Joe Parry. So for those who vote for Nigel as vice chair, please raise your dandies. Anybody against? And any abstentions? So now we've got those in rotation, which is, so we have certain members of the committee, which each year has to, by rotation, need to stand down, and those positions become available. And that's due to the amount of time in service. Nigel is the membership secretary on there, so it's proposed by Joe May and seconded by Rob Parry. So if we could have a vote for those who wish Nigel to remain in the role of membership. Anybody against? Any abstentions? Happy days. This is myself as events coordinator. That has been proposed by Alan Bradley and seconded by David Gaskeller. So all those in favour of myself remain as events.
If I'm
Anybody against? And any abstentions? That's lovely. Next one is Colin Murrell, who is our European liaison, and that's been proposed by Pete Opie and seconded by Dave Tynan. For those who are in agreement with that, please raise your hands. Please vote for Colin. Anybody against? No abstentions. Lovely. Last one then is Tim Morris,
Who's he?
who is scribe and readmaster. That's been proposed by Mr. Alan Bradley and seconded by Mr. Jerry Edwards. For those who would like to agree to Tim, any against, and any abstentions? Wonderful. What I'd also like to do, just at this point in time, with Jane Parry as stepping down as secretary, for us to record our thanks to the work that Jane's done over the years as well. She was instrumental in a lot of the work of MGF 25, on all the organisation of that, so I think it's only right that there should be a mention of that in there. And also Chrissy Edwards has stood down from the role of regalia. So that position is available if anybody wishes to put their feet forward for the regalia roles on there. Now what I'd like to do, although I'm the new chairman, with respect for Nigel for what he's doing, I'd like him to finish off the meeting if that's okay with you, Nigel.
Rex to vote for as well.
Sorry?
You need to Dave as the Rex, right?
Oh, yeah.
While you're doing it. Should be on there.
Who's this?
Is it on there?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so Tim was our regional reps liaison officer, which looks after all us Herberts what are looking after the regions. So it allows then one voice of the reps to come to each committee meeting. Tim was holding that position, but now we have a nomination for Dave Tynan, which is proposed by Jane Parry and seconded by myself. So for those who are in favour of Dave becoming the rep liaison officer, any against? Any abstentions? No. Lovely. Right, I think we're there, aren't we? Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you're happy to take
Yeah,
back the
I'll
chair,
take back and do
Yeah.
the...
I think that's only right and fitting.
What's that? Finally, we move to the final section, which any other business. I suppose I'll hand over to Ian, really, technically, but I'll carry on if Ian's happy while he's...
More than happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other business from anyone before I close the meeting? Just any signs. Thank you all for your attendance. It's good to see you all, and we'll come out with a date, time for a very short EGM to cover the finances in the next few weeks. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Fridge.